Okay, so I'm taking my 2x2s out of this 2x12, and as you can see, I've got them marked out at 1.5 inches because I want the post to be square, and this is smooth face lumber, so it's 1.5 inches width. So I'm doing 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and you can see I got a couple marked out. I only need to rip out 4, and we are going to make those the length that we talked about before. We were just going to go with 19 inches to give us that extra inch to deal with the angles. So I'm going to do these same layouts at 19 inches and run a level across. Okay, there are our legs right there. They look very short. It's very odd to me. I never really realized how short tables were. Table's average height is 30 inches off the ground, and the chair's average height is 19 inches off the ground. And it's surprising to see how short that really is. Okay, so I have to move this somewhere where I can get in here with a skill saw. There's our piece. Nice on this side. Anyways, so let's go to the table. Okay, so here we are at the table. We're going to we will start. We'll do 2 of them with the, or 3 of them with the clamps back here. Not too bad for a skill saw. I don't have tables on, so I just got a couple. Alright, the camera stopped recording because it was out of space, so I gave myself some more space. Alright, so I do have to mark this out. We did veer a little bit off because of the width of the blade. Yeah, we're off just a touch, about 1/8 of an inch, but that's enough. I take pride in my work, and I like to make sure it's perfect. Perfect as it can be. Anyway, let's do this cut. Okay, there's our feet. So as you can see, here is the more open spot, and then it gets cut there, and then cut from here out to there. That one's a little messed up, but it's correct still. So when this is going up, it's going to be slightly this way. So as you can see, once again, there's a piece that needs to be cut on this side and then to nothing over here. So when it sits, it's going to be slightly this way, giving it that angled look on the stool. Now it's, as you can see, that's very tiny. So you have to be very precise with this because the angle, when it translates all the way to the ground, it makes a big difference. Like that little tiny bit here turns into an inch down at the bottom. So, okay, so for the rest of them, it's going to be really hard to measure this, but we're going to measure it the 30 seconds. So it's a 16th strong, so just over a 16th. So we can pick a corner on all of our other pegs. Get you in here a bit. So we're gonna pick this corner on this peg. Gonna use a, fuck, I'm throwing things everywhere. So I'm gonna use a fine pencil because it's such a small measurement. I'm gonna come over here. Very kindly make a mark. This side I can just translate it. That little mark is gonna go to nothing, but we'll mark all of them first. It's gonna be the easiest mark, the first mark, because it's this one. I hope my head is not. Oh, my head's maybe on camera. I thought, yeah. Alright. Now, I'm not sure if there's an actual tool I can use to find this angle. That would be easier than what I just did, but that's what I know that's the way to. That's what that looks. So I'm gonna mark it from there to nothing. So that means from the line all the way to the pencil goes up the side of the wood. This is actually really hard to mark. This is all phrase though. Set it there. Now you can always make minor tweaks when you put this all together. So remember that, and you can worry about all that stuff then. But chairs are very important to keep everything square with a chair, because you really notice it. That's when you get that one leg that's higher than the rest and you get that wobble. And that might end up happening here. And we will adjust very carefully, because there's a right way to adjust that and there's the wrong way. The wrong way is shaving some off of the wrong leg, and what you end up having to do is shaving some off of the rest of the legs, and then you end up going in circles and making the whole chair shorter and shorter, and it still has a rock. I'm sure many of us have done that. I think I got the angle. Boom. Okay. We got all 4 cut. At 4 degrees on a diagonal, like so, instead of flat, diagonal. Okay, so let's go over here. So what I'm gonna do is if I take the level, you just go square with the side of this, no need to be level. And if I look, I should see an inch between this piece of wood and the level. 1 inch on both sides. 1 inch. And it's almost there. I can make it. So as long as I know that I can keep that 1 inch, what I'm gonna do is I'm now gonna pre-drill 1 screw to go into each foot, and I'm also going to pre-drill the feet just so it doesn't split. What I will do is I'll put this where I want it to be. I'll put 2 marks. Put a mark on the board and a mark on the top, and I'll do 1 on both sides. And then what I'll do is I'll take square, and you want to put that line roughly in the center of the board. I'll take a square and I'll continue those lines and find where they cross. Where they cross is the hole for the board. And the reason I do that because I want to make sure I'm getting it perfect. So on this one, all you gotta do is the square is a lot less precise on a board this size, but it's a board this size, so you don't have to go that far. So it's gonna be precise enough. We'll square out these lines, and now we know where the screw is gonna end up in here. So knowing both of those, we can drill out this one and drill out this one. Now what I will do is in this corner, I will put an identifier. I will just put 1, the number 1. Then on the top of this, in a corner, I will put number 1. So when you line it up, you always got it lined up because you got those 2 lines to make sure to know where you put it. Then you got 1 and 1 to match them up. And what you're going to want to do is do that with all of them.